Quick one. The week of 6th of October, I will be in the US working with a few clients. I'm opening a few spots to do in-person session. If of interest, just message me and I'll send you more information. Have you ever walked from a training session or a big speech feeling completely inspired, heard lots of good ideas, only to realize a few weeks after that not much is left? Research shows that when we go to this kind of training or information sessions or big speech, 75% of what we hear is forgotten just 6 days after the session. Bonjour, this is Cyril from Work Smarter, Live Better. In this video, I want to share 3 simple advice that can make your training session, your information session, much more impactful. I was invited a few weeks ago to be one of the keynote speakers in a large event. There was about 200 leaders from this organization, and I was discussing with David, the person who was organizing that, and he was saying how good the session were, but also how sometimes he feels frustrated because, well, a few weeks after, a lot of it is forgotten by all those attendees. And the problem is not often the quality of the session. A lot of it, there's great, in this forum, there was some great sessions, some great information shared by all the keynote speaker. The problem is much more the individual, what you do with it. And we rarely take the time when we attend the session to turn what I call insight into implementation. So 3 simple suggestions. My first one is capture on the fly. And what I mean by capture on the fly is when I attend a training like this, I actually have a blank piece of paper and on the side, and constantly I would write insight action. So imagine a big piece of paper, you divide it into, let's say, 9 boxes or whatever number of boxes. Each box has to have an insight and an action. As you go through the training, as soon as you hear something interesting, that's an insight. And then you ask yourself, what do I need to do with it? That's an action. And so you'll end up, even if it's an hour and a half, a workshop, you'll end up with a full page full of insight and action. That's my first advice. My second advice is time to debrief. After a training session like that or a learning session, I always block half an hour to review this page and ask myself, how will I implement that? What will I implement and how will I implement it? So I take the time to debrief it. And my third advice is implement straight away. Walk away with a few things, like a whole page, review the one you're going to implement and try it straight away. Learning is a bit like a French souffle. If you don't apply straight away, it goes down really quickly. And so I don't wait a few weeks to implement. Straight away, I will implement a few things. Not too many because I don't want to feel overwhelmed, but the thing that I think will have the most impact. If you do this, if you capture straight away, asking yourself insight and action, take the time to debrief and implement straight away a few things and practice them, well, you will turn all those insight sessions into really impactful implementation. So my question to you is this. When you go to a learning, when you go to a session, when you go to a training, do you just walk away with a lot of good ideas that souffle effect go down? Or do you really push yourself to move from insight to implementation? This is this week's Work Smarter, Live Better tip. You have a lovely day. À bientôt.